So hello guys, and welcome to the SCPH Quarantine Tournament number 2. This time it's the Masters Bracket. We are going to be getting into some higher tier matches for today's festivities. So it's going to be a very interesting one as we are looking to get into our first game very soon. But what is the difference right now on today's day? Well, the big one here is the fact that we are going to have a different player pool of a higher rank. And here you go, guys, visualizing for you who's going to be participating in the Masters Day today. So we are going to have a number of different representations. Bayags, they're going to be the lone Protoss this time after such a Protoss-filled day from yesterday. You have Saipem, Nux, and XtinC going to be playing on with the Zerg, returning from quarantine number 1, especially with Nux, the defending champion after a perfect record from that last time. We have Phoenix and Shenanigans playing Terran, so we do have our first ever Gold Diamond champion being promoted here and being put into the Masters bracket as a guest player. He's not allowed to play in the Gold Diamond, he's allowed to play here regardless of his Masters or not, thanks to his championship. And we'll see if he can size up against the opposition. And finally, well, you already know the guy on the right-hand side, Mr. Gold Medalist himself from the SEA Games, going to be Ender participating as well from Liav Esports. So, it is going to be a star-studded affair, and you are going to be looking at a very familiar roster right now in the SCPH scene. So, I'm pretty hyped to bring you guys this upcoming match. In the meantime, though, we are going to be looking into our stats real quick. On to a little bit of that pricing right now for the quarantine tournament. Our masters bracket gonna be giving out 2,500 for our grand prize winner, and then 1,100 for our second placer. Yesterday we had our gold to diamond, and it was a very long but fun day. PvP though, just really the name of the game and just basically the story of yesterday. So there you go, guys. We are gonna be getting into our first match very soon. Within the next 5 minutes, we're just fixing things up on the map draft side as the players are just coming on in and ready to get going into our bracket. So we will be right back. We'll just fix things up and we will be returning to the SCPH Quarantine Tournament number 2. This is the Masters Plus bracket, and we'll see you guys very soon. Here we are. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Quarantined Tournament number 2, the Masters Bracket. And we are going to be getting into our first game today. And it is going to be a Zerg versus a Terran, introducing XtinC versus Shenanigans. So before we start things off in terms of our match, going to quickly shout out all our sponsors. We got AKG Games, of course, who has been very, very supportive of the tournament, has been able to really help out boost that prize pool, and you can check out their socials right there at Facebook and Instagram on akggames.ph. Besides that though, in terms of the community, this tournament would not be possible without the community, without the setup from anyone and everyone, and DLS Mizzle, Mr. Mizzle himself, making all these banners, these brackets, these overlays, and making things really work out and make it pretty. You can check him out at dlsmizzle.com. You can put my logo there, just saying hi. I'm hosting this one with casting. I casted the whole thing yesterday, and we're casting again as much as we can today. Besides that, though, people have contributed to our prize. We got Supermalls, we got Bayagster, we got Paul, and we got Destroyer PH. Thank you to those 4 guys for really helping on that, and countless others who has really brought their time and patience to the SCPH Quarantined Tournament. But hey, it is going to be time to get into the game. And in this Zerg versus Terran matchup, we are going to see some battlefields that are pretty familiar to us in the first place. So our first map going to be Eternal Empire, second one going to be Nightshade, and third going to be Simulacrum LE. Some pretty familiar maps, and I've just noticed in the quarantine tournament that we really do like playing the older maps. We like playing the maps that have come from the season before and have stayed on compared to the newer ones, and it's not really too gimmicky. We do have the potential cheesiness of Simulacrum, but it's pretty straightforward on both Eternal Empire and Nightshade. But here, it is upcoming Zerg versus Terran. Well, I'm trying to see how Shenanigans is really going to be playing it out on EE, especially with all the drop plays that he could potentially do when he's playing that bio. XtinC in the meantime going to be playing that Zerg. And let's get it on, let's get it done. And let's talk about the match that is coming our way. Zerg versus Terra going to be the first one here and now in the Masters Plus bracket, and I can't wait to bring you guys the action. But here we go, we're going to be moving into the game. And it's time to get into Eternal Empire. Welcome, guys, to day number 2. So hello, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are on Eternal Empire. So quickly, just to explain how the format of today is gonna be. For the upper brackets, we are going to have your standard best of 3 fanfare, but on the lower bracket, it turns into something a little different. It becomes a best of 1 sudden death frenzy. And we know that best of 1 is a very, very draw dependent thing. It's a very, very Wild West kind of setup. But it's something we want to try out, and we feel like it's going to be a lot of fun here for the quarantine tournament, just being do or die right now. Getting that second chance, it's still, honestly, it still feels like a single elimination, but with the last chance at the tail end. So we'll see how that one is going to go, but we are going to be playing some standard format here and now into our tournament. And introducing first, on the top right, the champion from SCPH Quarantine Tournament number 1 of the Gold to Diamond bracket. Invited on in here into the master side instead. It is the purple Protoss himself, the mean green, not so green, more like Regal. The mean Regal, 1-1-1-1-1, God himself, Shenanigans. So if you guys don't know, his classic build, he gets that 1-1-1, and he adds the +1/+1 on the infantry, armor, and weaponry, and that's when he goes into your face. It seems like Shenanigans liking that timing attack, and since it was really exposed how well he could really do that strategy, his opponent might have done the homework to prepare to get a pretty solid win over him. But Shenanigans has proven that he can really be the best of the best, and now he's looking to be the best here on to the higher tier of play. We'll see if he can make it through, and we'll see if he could go far into this tournament. But hey, it's gonna be a tough task already, as introducing his opponents on the bottom left of Eternal Empire. It's gonna be the Yellow Zerg of XtinC. And XtinC, guys, not only was he a co-caster for SCPH Quarantine number 1, but also he was a very vital part of SCPH Quarantine number 2, as he was one of the marshals really helping on out, leading most of the tournament proceedings while we were busy casting and everything. So really big shoutouts to him. A pretty rich history in and out of the local scene, as he had some really good placing last time in the top 4, if I remember correctly, for the Civil program, able to get into the combine. He was also number 2 in the WESGPH qualifier, second only to Ender, and has really shown a lot of improvement. Has joined Team Dragon alongside Phoenix right now. We'll see what's going to be up here for Mr. XtinC. He is very versatile in what he plays, and we have seen that he can even play StarCraft in 8-bit graphics. So I'm really excited to see what XtinC is actually going to be doing in a matchup like this. This tournament, guys, brought to you by AKG Games and brought to you by the SCPH community, as we are going to be seeing the proceedings here in Eternal Empire. Let's look at already his upgrades going online here for Mr. XtinC. He gets the boost, he gets the carapace, really some speed right now to move around the map as much as possible and to see what is going to be in store for him into the future. So if you guys check out the bracket right now, as Overlord is just getting pelleted by bullets from down below. We do have 2 other matches going on right now, so we aren't going to be doing every single match at the start. Here for round number 1 and round number 2 actually of the upper bracket, it'll played simultaneously. Loser bracket we'll be covering since it's a game anyway, but after that, when we get into the semifinals, from there on we will do every single match that is left on the bracket, so you will get a lot of action, and we are hoping that we can coordinate very well with all our players, that we will make sure that every single player right now who is participating in the Masters Plus bracket will be featured at least once on stream. So how you guys doing on this fine Sunday afternoon? If you guys are to ask me, well, this is pretty much it's when you put a cast on something on the limb or nap edition, that's what you can say about my voice. We are going to be going on. I casted for around 10.5 hours straight yesterday. Back-to-back tournaments actually covered for both the PH as well as the SEA scene. But here we are, right here, right now, and I'll wonder how long we will go. As it's going to be Shenanigans now playing the timing attack. He's going to go for the Battle Cruiser to start things off, and the Viking going for the pick-off onto those Overlords. Does XtinC know, though, that the Fusion Core is there? Yes, he does, and immediately responding in kind with the Spore Crawlers. So for XtinC, he's ready to try and defend, but he's gonna need a little more creep and a little more queens to get in position to try and go for the fight. He has 5 of them right now. He will be able to just bunch them up later on, but right now he's a little busy keeping the creep tumors into the front line. Shenanigans, though, maybe almost getting that BC, and I like how XtinC is really just not afraid of it. He knows it's coming, he knows that he will have to play the counter, but he's very confident and already building into the future. You can really see just a little bit of that difference here in the Masters bracket. So one of the first things I noticed when we get into the Masters bracket is really how decisive players can be. We're not going to be expecting any kind of situations where people are stuck trying to figure out if they can actually win or not, because these guys know what their timings are, these guys know what their win conditions are, and these guys know when they have the advantage. Speaking of the advantage, +1 right now for XtinC, trying to get that range weaponry on. 3 bases right here, right now. Go for the Roach Warren as well, so it isn't gonna be the Zergling Mule style here for Mr. XtinC, as he is just flying around with these Overlords, and the early carapace really giving him that information, really giving him the vision that he needs, and it is going to be pretty good to try and get them away from the Vikings to begin with. But Shenanigans right now, whipping out the BC. And this is the thing about Eternal Empire, you can really be out of range if you teleport onto some instant sides. And really just going to be out of position right there here for XtinC, going for the shots already. As into the primary goes Shenanigans. One queen will go down. The defense squad looking to try and keep on up, but Shenanigans actually getting some really good damage here. Seems like XtinC not punching up as we expected earlier on. He did do so onto the lower ground, but here on Eternal Empire, you can just fly in and out of the first and the third bases to really find a sweet spot to stay alive. Several kills on that BC, not bad whatsoever, but Shenanigans looking for more, and he's going to be bringing in these Hellions right now to try and go for the attack along the way. Still, in the meantime, let's see what Shenanigans is up to. He's getting more gas actually here for on 3 bases, and it is going to be a factory approach here for Shenanigans. So we saw a lot of the bio play earlier on in the Gold to Diamond last time we were in a tournament, but Shenanigans gonna be actually whipping out the mech playstyle instead. In the meantime though, seems like gonna be a pause in order, so let's go on back to a little bit of me cam. And how you guys doing? So look, the sun is out. We are back to doing this in the afternoon. It seems like a little few cats gonna be the ones fixing the ones up, and yeah, we should be good to go. Let's go back into the game. So yeah, there you go. So, where was I? XtinC is trying to figure out what composition he's gonna go on, and he went for the Roach Warren actually, since he did get the Elder type, but he is gonna transition to Aspire right here, right now. So still can be the Mutas into play, but I might expect actually Corruptors here from XtinC to just get some anti-air up in the air. Still, Shenanigans right now being quite a pest as 4 bases right now here for XtinC. Trying to come on up. Spore Crawler though isn't in position yet, but the Queens are, and they do have a little bit of creep to work around, just running, trying to get the catch on. In the meantime though, for Shenanigans, it's gonna be very interesting to see how many of these cars he can really build. Siege tanks right now littering the battlefield. He's gonna go for Yamato Cannon as well to try and get the shutdown, and it's all about plating here and now on the armor. And I do like the fact that the armory now does give armor to both the ships as well as the vehicles in one single upgrade. It's a very all-in kind of thing. It's a very inclusive thing. And right now, Shenanigans gonna be +1 online with the armor. Looking for a +2 actually, but +1 vehicle weapons. Gonna be trying to be as potent as can be on the ground. But anyway, more overlords right now gonna be in transition. And here for XtinC, he is just putting himself in a prime spot to play into the late game. He's gonna have 4 of these bases to make that 5 even. And really a very macro-focused style from our Zerg player. Creeping on down as well, looking to spread it out as much as possible. It's like a sandwich, and getting that peanut butter on as the Corruptors right now gonna be flying into the battlefield. +1 on the flyer attack to make it a little stronger, and we'll see if he's gonna be transitioned later on into any Broodlord Shenanigans. But in the meantime, Roach and Ravager take care of the north-hand side. And for normal players actually, for a regular matchup like this, you can say that Shenanigans might have a little bit of the edge later on with the Thor versus the Broodlord, just how the leash range works and how the Thor just able to get the outrange and the out DPS in the first place. But XtinC might have something else in store for us. And yes, he is gonna go for the Infestation Pit, and we'll turn this into a game of the Swarm Host. So interesting enough though, we aren't seeing the Nidus as of yet, and with the Infestation Pit online, XtinC can get into +3 territory and move into Hive Tech into the future. But 10 minutes on in, and the transition right now from XtinC to get on the north-hand side, seems like this is going to be a strike, a hit squad for the Roaches and the Ravagers, but never mind, XtinC going to be staying on the high ground instead. Seems like both sides are just a little afraid to actually go for the face-off, and they are just really respecting one another, but this will give Shenanigans a lot of time to build on in terms of his army. And even though XtinC can have the lead in that work account right now, if Shenanigans get some critical mass going on and it's not gonna work out for XtinC in the first clash, well, the mech playstyle can really just overrun the opposition. How many factories does this guy have? This is really SimCity right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these factories just looking to produce. But you know what else is going to be in production? Going to be a battlefield here now on the north hand side. Siege tanks though in position already. Thor's going to be there as well. And XtinC forced back on that. The Ravagers. Look at that one Ravager being bounced around. So unfortunate with its corpse. But its compatriots really not caring that it's dead or not. Using it as a technical shield there, as the siege tanks just literally in position to just blow anything XtinC wants to do. And I feel like for XtinC, he has the right idea. He's taking map control, he's taking as much of the map as he can, and he's going for the resource game to make sure that he's gonna be fine and dandy in multiple cycles of this game. Egg's gonna be very important, and it's all about keeping things up along the way. But as in the meantime, Banelix right now in production, +1 on that melee as well. And here comes the Nidus Worms, and we have been expecting, because with the Nidus Network and the Swarm Host gonna be looking to be pesky, and Eternal Empire, those caverns, those crevices, just trying to get on away the canyon in the middle, and allow these locusts to now fly on northward. And it's time to go for the attack, but Shenanigans already in position, maybe putting those missile turrets to good use, going for the shots already. Thor gonna be there as well to tank things up. And with things in position here, it saves the SCVs from actually getting taken down. In return, the worker is gonna go for the repair, and another Night Storm actually into the battlefield. But in this instance as well, XtinC right now gonna spot out Shenanigans on that low ground. Banelings rolling on in, but you can see how much of a waste they are as the siege are in position. A few of them able to infiltrate into the SCV line. Not the worst there for XtinC, but Shenanigans looking very, very scary right now. Gonna be forcing the retreat from this Zerg player. The shots now keeping on coming. And in the meantime, here comes a Night Swarm into the most aggressive base that XtinC has. He wants to put something in position just in case he needs an evac zone for those farmhosts. Gonna be such a good thing to really turn the tide of battle, because these disposable units can be so good in the first place. But here and now, Shenanigans going for the charge. He wants to go for the push, he wants to go for the fight, and will be a good idea here for Shenanigans. He's not completely maxed out as of yet. Army count though in his favor, as he has sacrificed that worker out. He's only on 3 base. He is looking to get 5 of them actually into play. So it seems like this attack gonna be buying space and time for Shenanigans to go for the expansion. Here we go though with the onslaught. Loloka's gonna be in position already from the slope down below. And the Hellbats taking the lead, taking the front. What kind of upgrades do we have right now? +2 on all these vehicles. In the meantime, +2 on range upgrades, but there is no carapace upgrades whatsoever here for XtinC. So these units gonna be dying a lot quicker than you would expect. So how you guys doing today? Hope you guys are enjoying the stream, and hope you guys are enjoying our tournament so far. The second coming of the quarantine has really been a pretty enjoyable one. We got so many people from gold to diamond, 37 of them, and now 7 here in the Masters bracket. I'm glad you guys have seen our growth, but now might be a growth on to these doors, as it's a pincer attack courtesy of XtinC that they go in behind. Bailey's right now busting on that against the siege tanks, and that's just such a good catch here for XtinC. See Shenanigans try to go for the aggression and catches him out in a pretty bad spot, but even though that all happens, XtinC gonna lose everything that went for the flank. And even with XtinC having a lot of resources right now, he's still gonna need those eggs to keep on producing. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes a few proxy hatcheries into this game just to keep the flow going, and he really will be going for the might of the swarm, trying to clean up against those stores. Looking for the takedown, gonna get the shutdown, and 1 left on the list. Hellions in behind as well. Banelings right now going for the bust. And this is gonna be a defense holding here for XtinC. Actually, not even EXO anymore. I'm so used to seeing his name with EXO, but it's Team DG. XtinC, guys. It really goes to show the evolution of some of our players. But speaking of evolution, it's a Night Swarm right now, going for the drop down. And Locust yet again, going for the damage onto this 4th base. And for XtinC, he's already all maxed out yet again. This is truly what the Zerg is all about, keeping on with the pressure, keeping on with the numbers, and he can keep producing as much as he would like. Zerglings right now gonna be the reinforcements as well as a +3 looking to come online. But XtinC is gonna need that carapace upgrade sometime soon just to stay alive in these elongated fights. Raptors still on the left-hand side. Roche is going to be there as well. One of them doing a little bit of the shake it off. But here comes the fight yet again. Bile right now connecting. The Thor is able to try and get on away. Shenanigans trying to get on out, trying to survive. That's going to be the takedown there, though. Here we go with more the Biles yet again. And huge hits there onto that single Thor. Going to get the takedown. Ravager Biles connecting are such a big game changer for the Zerg player. And in this instance, Eternal Empire turning into different battlefields all around. Locust yet again onto the right-hand side, pressuring this base, forcing the lift-up actually. And this is pretty good here for XtinC. He's finding opportunities to slow down the economy for Shenanigans. And this means that Shenanigans won't be able to trade on even. XtinC has so much map control right now. It's so many bases in production. And even though he only has 59 workers, he has a huge cache of resources in behind. So he can really focus on the economy, focus on the army rather, instead of the economy. Plan the Iron Fortress gonna be in position. Here we go with the Swarm Host yet again, looking to lay those eggs and lay the smackdown against the opposition. Tit for tat, slowing on down. Thor's right now though, going for the shutdown onto the Nidus, but the Banelings are going to be there from the south side yet again. And pretty even trades right now, but this is still in favor of XtinC. Shenanigans doesn't have much minerals in the back right now, has a lot of gas. but this means he can't really queue things up into big numbers. A big deal here for Shenanigans as well is he has 2 of these planetary fortresses into the front line. Now sure, this is a very defensible position, but this does lower his mule counts by a big factor. There you go, you can already see that he's using those mules to try and just get the economy on, but his minerals are dwindling on down on those 3 primary bases, so this is pretty dangerous right now for Shenanigans, because XtinC will not let up. He will not give up, he will not surrender, and he will not stop what he's doing, because this is exactly how the Zerg is going to win in a scenario like this. Starve out the opponent, it's a complete siege here and now, and the Zerg Swarm is doing the best of the medieval warfare in this instance. Anyway, we're still keeping on. Thank you guys for the love in the chats. And this is only our first game so far. So we are going to have a long day. I'm really excited to bring you guys all the action in the PH scene. But the Banelings right now coming on in yet again. And the Roaches trying to go for the Cascade. Hellbats though creeping on forward. It took a while for them to get into the front line. And the Thors and Stake taking the brunt of the damage. Speaking of the damage though, these Roaches not letting up. They'll be fighting yet again. Swarmos right now though with the Locust. And on to the north-hand side, we go going for the fights. The Thor is going to get caught out of position, and that is going to be takedowns yet again. SCV is now going to get pulled. And I feel like Shenanigans forgetting a small little bit of the mech. You can actually heal your units, man, if you bring some SCVs, if you bring some mules, but with having 2 of those PFs in position out in front, and everything dying left, right, and center, it seems like famine finally reaching to Shenanigans. Nidus Worm coming on back. He's already built 8 of them in just a small span. XtinC is making a new subway system down in Eternal Empire, and I'm happy to report the progress of the Zerg, really allotting them the movement that they need. A danger spot though, he's not going to be wanting any swarm hosts there. Might be a bait and switch because he has been pressuring the space for so long. And let's check out what the economy looks like here for XtinC in the meantime. So he has creeped on over to another aggressive base, and he's looking to just get some minerals back because the main base is all mined out. The second base, almost all mined out. But interesting to note is he's not getting gas anymore. It's all about minerals right now. He wants to keep up with the Zerglings, with the Roaches, and even with the Ravagers, and he's happy with the cache of gas in hand. Really keeping things up in a pretty solid degree, and more of these Zerglings coming our way. Now the most interesting part though is XtinC is going for heavy Zerglings and heavy Banes, but he's not gotten Adrenal Glands, he has not gotten that Zergling attack speed, as he's using these Zerglings as more as Baneling support, really blowing things up along the way. But SCVs have gone down yet again, and in the meantime Shenanigans did go for a surgical strike. Hellbats in position on one of these bases, and this is just gonna be a furnace. Look at that, an inferno coming into the way. It doesn't matter what reinforcements that XtinC actually brings to the table, because the Hellbats are in position to cook anything coming their way. 21 workers already going down, and it seems like XtinC doesn't care anymore. He's gonna let those drones die, allow supply to replenish, and he can build more and more of an army instead. But there is a cleanup with the Ravagers creeping on forward. But as I say that, it seems like I was wrong. A cycle of drones gonna be slowing down the onslaught. It feels like XtinC not realizing how much money Shenanigans has in the bank. I mean, for us, we can see how much money Shenanigans has, but XtinC might be able to tell just how desperate Shenanigans is to get those minerals. He's going for multiple instances of long-distance mining, and XtinC right now gonna be spreading on with a few more creep tumors along the way. Anyway though, we'll see how this one is going to pan out, as the Thors and the Hellbats looking for the clean on up. Sees the Roaches there, just taking care of that one. But even more and more of these units now coming our way, and XtinC realizing the situation. He's keeping tabs of these mineral bases, he's keeping tabs of where these SCVs are going. And right now he's in position to shut down these workers, trying to play on the safer side though, doesn't want to be close to the AoE, to the attack range of those Thors. But in the meantime, more and more of these Niduses coming online. Is it Niduses or is Nidai? I think it's Niduses, right? Niduses. It has to be canon. It's the plural of Nidus Worm is Niduses. Or, you know, Nidus Worms, that's pretty much it. I think I've never heard them say Niduses, they say Nidus Worm all the time. But the Ravager's gonna be on the left-hand side yet again. And the Swarmos might be in a perilous spot, they will get the eggs on, and they will get on out, so it's time for the Locusts to chew on them. if you guys have ever read the Bible, you ever read the passage, the Passover there, the swarm of locusts, that's something that you always have to respect. And XtinC will garner that respect. He will take their first map of the day and will be one ahead in a pretty long Eternal Empire game. There you go, guys. Eternal Empire taken by our Zerg player. Very well deserved there by XtinC. Knowing how to play against the mech. And there are two playstyles on it to go about things. You either play the econ game and just starve out your opponents through grit, through the swarm, through all the eggs in the first place. Or you can play the spellcasters. And there we saw XtinC play the former playstyle. We saw him play against the opposition with so much money in the bank. And I feel like for Shenanigans, he just did the attacks on those mineral lines too late. If he was able to do that earlier on, if he was able to just be a pest in the first place, well, could have been a different game. In the meantime, though, we are just checking things out in terms of our map pools. I already have one result, so, and they're gonna be winning odds against Saipem. And if I remember correctly, we are gonna be doing that half of round number 2 later on in the bracket. Dude, we did a schedule, guys. We made a schedule to start things off today, and I think we are looking pretty prime so far. Phoenix enough still ongoing, but the 1-0 advantage here and now for XtinC. Since we have 7 players, Bayagster was the lucky one who got the bye, and whoever wins this matchup will move on to face off against Bayagster in round number 2. But anyway, we'll look to get into our next game, and it's gonna be Nightshade. So quick little recap yet again of our results as we move into the second map of our best of 3 XtinC, taking care of Eternal Empire, and Nightshade now gonna be next on the list. This time though, it might be a earlier kind of aggression. I feel like with the displacement, as we keep saying on Nightshade, it's so easy with the diagonal to get onto to the other side. It can really be a pretty solid fight here at the early parts of this matchup. But now Shenanigans. The real question here is, will Mr. Shenanigans decide to go back to his tried and tested build, play that bio focus, or will he stay on with the mech? Because he had the right idea. He had a pretty good showing with the factories, but it seems like he forgot to go for the Hellion Strikes multiple times. He could have gone for the Cyclone Strikes as well. We didn't see him actually play any Cyclones. It was straight into Siege Tanks, if I remember correctly. So maybe that's something he's gonna want to do into the future. But hey, it's time right now to get into game number 2 with XtinC with the 1 map advantage. And let's get it back. If you guys enjoyed the tournament yesterday, just quick little FYI, the VODs are coming online as we speak every hour on YouTube. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 out of 3, and here we are on Nightshade LE. Introducing first, the one on the ropes. Beaten, but not fully battered. Still alive, but barely breathing. It's our Purple Protoss. Purple Protoss? Wow, guys, I just messed that one up. Purple Terran Shenanigans. I think I just remembered the gold to diamond. I remember the gold to diamond, guys. I was like, did we only have Protoss for so much like Protoss? Missile also still feeling the effects of that. But yeah, it is the Purple Terran here on the bottom right. And Shenanigans was telling us actually that he was like, oh, I might have an off day today. I've been having an off day recently. So apparently he hasn't been having the best time on the ladder. Only in Diamond 2 right now. But hey, he showed his prowess in the tournament, and maybe a tournament setting gonna be the best way to bring him back. Even though we know that Shenanigans is the one at disadvantage because he is the invitee rather than being directly qualified into it, we have seen how well he can play his race. And even though he isn't going to be able to pretend win out a match here, he's going to getting a lot of valuable experience playing off against someone of a higher caliber. But every single match here that Shenanigans takes would be an achievement, and it'll be even better to see him go all the way to the finals to be into that placing to get a little bit of the prize money. But that is a dream that Shenanigans will have to fulfill on his own, and even though he's the underdog, we'll root for him alongside the rest of our community. But right now, the one in command of this game, It's that yellow Zerg creeping on over on the top left. XtinC representing Team Dragon yet again. And oh, drones gonna get pulled. Drones are gonna get pulled because we have Shenanigans whipping out the double proxy racks. Now, since did Shenanigans this no stop, go home, Shenanigans, go home. If you guys saw that, he almost killed the SCV. He almost killed the SCV with his Marines. Misclicking at that was so close. And the problem here right now, the oh, Missile put it in the comments. I love it. So guys, if you see Missile chatting, it's just because he's the one setting up the lobby, but I'm the one actually doing the camera work and everything. And yeah, the Spine Crawler right now here for XtinC seems like this Marine Rush not gonna work out anytime soon. So the issue there for Shenanigans is, since his SCV is really low HP and the creep was able to get in position in time as the hatchery came online, well, that means he can build a bunker there. And look how far this bunker is. Spine Crawler is already in position. And this early start here for Shenanigans not looking too good. Highly unfortunate, honestly. Could have been a very surprising thing. Here we go though with the Tentacle Spice going for the pokes. It's a little bit of bait and switch. SCV now gonna take the brunt of damage, and Shenanigans would be best for him. Just stay on to his side. The best thing Shenanigans can do right now is to just basically force XtinC to keep on building these Spine Crawlers in the front line. At least it will take a little bit of minerals away from him in terms of static defense and instead of the tech structures. But the bunker right now gonna get filled on up. Zergling's trying to go for the surround. XtinC though backing on that. He knows he can't really win a fight like that. And I feel like Shenanigans, he can transition this to something a little more standard. Sure, he'll have these two barracks out of position. Sure, he will have bunkers all the way out in front. But it is pressure right now, and it is really imposing here of Shenanigans. And I feel like since we've seen him really excel on the bio in the first place, he can work with this and keep on with his normal strategies. Anyway, seems like Shenanigans did go for the call supply. This is pretty interesting because you do want to get that influx with the mules early on, especially if you're going to go for a pretty marine focus build. So Shenanigans has to pay attention just a little more to his supply counts, as another of these Marines will go down, trying to be loading on into the bunker yet again. And it seems like Shenanigans might be looking to disengage here and leave these bunkers to fend for themselves. I'd love to see the success rate, honestly, if Shenanigans decides to basically build more bunkers in the front line. And one more thing that Shenanigans is doing is he has a Cyclone in the base. Now, this is going to be very good to get rid of Overlords going for the scout. I'd also like to see him potentially go for a starport to get a Viking on, and that could prevent any Nidus Worm Shenanigans to begin with. But hey, Shenanigans saying, okay, it's enough about this, enough of this jazz. The SCVs will disengage. There's already too many Spine Crawlers that he can deal with, and it's gonna be the Zerglings trying to go for surround yet again. Marines now disengaging from the bunker. Never go with a salvage, gonna get some money back, but these Marines will not get their lives. They will fall on order, and that is so unfortunate. Absolute lethality there, courtesy of the Zergling Swarm. But hey, here comes more and more of this Lynx. Gonna go for the push, gonna be going on over to the other side. And in the meantime, we do have Shenanigans trying to get that second base, but XtinC is just like, hey, you're not gonna be there. You're not gonna take this. You're not gonna do such a thing because I have these Zerglings in position, and I am sure that you're not gonna have anything much up on top. So Shenanigans is forced to use the orbital command as a different form of satellite. Instead of the dish, it's the command center itself. And it's a pretty good position here. Does Shenanigans get the vision onto the other side? No, and he's like, okay. I got it. I can't do this right now. I can't be like that. Siege Tacto getting in position. The Zerglings do disengage because they're way too few right now. But a pretty funny chain of events there. XtinC does have the upper hand in this scenario. He's going to be able to keep on expanding now to his third base. And it has been a while since he's saturated mostly those two bases. So pretty solid there. The Siege Tank right now. 12 kills, mules gonna be in production as well to try and get more and more of these minerals. And an interesting tech swap here for Shenanigans. He is gonna go for the Banshee Cloak instead. So from the double racks proxy to the Banshee Cloak. Now, will this Mr. XtinC actually know this is coming? Will he realize that this is what Shenanigans is gonna go on? What kind of vision does he have onto that main base? Absolutely nothing. So he doesn't know that SimCity is already in full production, as we do see a mech-oriented playstyle yet again here for Shenanigans. He sets up already with those supply depots, Baks floating on over as well, just to pretend that it's an overlord. And in the meantime, it's still XtinC finally getting the migration of these overlords. An interesting part though for XtinC, he doesn't have that carapace as of yet. So this is a slow and steady scout, but all of these overlords moving around the map. Queen's right now keeping on with the creep tumors, and here comes the Mutas looking to go for the punishment. The missile turret already set up here for Shenanigans. Seems like he's expecting that kind of response here from XtinC. And the flyers right now littering the battlefield. We'll see what kind of damage XtinC can really do in the first place. Hey, there you go right now. Cyclone gonna be getting that lock on. In the meantime, missile turrets gonna get more and more damage. Shenanigans really liking these MTs, but at the same time, he's not ready with all of them. XtinC though has to get out of dodge. It's very, very unsafe to be in between all those turrets to begin with. So instead, XtinC will go for a surgical strike, trying to get the shutdown onto this starport. But at the same time, here we go right now with the Hellions getting into that side. Banshee's right now cloaked on as well. And both sides doing some pretty pesky damage. Unfortunately for XtinC, he got the scout on the tech lab on that starport way too late. And he doesn't have any spore crawlers in position. Damage being done, going for the kill onto that queen. But in the meantime, we are going to get blue flame right here, right now for Shenanigans. It seems like it's all about harassment here for our Terran player. And he's keeping on with pressure. He is still staying on with the fights, but he has to fly on away because an overseer really giving chase. And it has to be these Banshees to get out on away from the range of those queens. Is one Banshee gonna go on down? Here comes the Hellions right now, exposing the blue flame. Damage being done, but the mass migration of the queens onto this third phase, getting the damage that needs to be done. 17 drones so have fallen, and Shenanigans able to take the lead on that worker count. How though will XtinC respond? He has a pretty significant army advantage with those Mutas flying on around. We have to make it count here and now, because he will be forced to drone on over with this next egg cycle. And for me, I feel like as the Cyclones do get a lock on and we will see an engage. Wow, the anti-air there. As with a mine, didn't get the lock on, didn't happen. On the natural we go. Mutas might be on a one-way trip here. Able to get on out, and that is going to be the end of that skirmish. So as I was saying, as I watched more and more Zerg on stream, off stream, when I'm just watching VODs and really trying to get in depth of things. I'm not a Zerg player, guys. I'm not even a great player, that's for sure. But a big thing to always keep note as a caster, just a quick little, just a quick little insights. A thing to note is when you see a lot of drones being made, it is really just gonna be a downtime for the Zerg player. Because usually that's pretty much all of your eggs going for drones, just so you don't have to do it later on. And in those times, that can be potential for basically the other side to take the advantage on the army count, because even though the eggs do come back very quickly, the larvae do respawn pretty in time, and when you have really good injects, then you'll have the timing for that. But it's still one egg cycle of completely workers. That is all you're producing, that is all you're making. And that is an opportunity for any single player facing off against a Zerg. But right now, it seems like the Zerg though is still unrelenting. The missile turret right now will be going down. And it's a pretty obvious thing to say, honestly, for especially any Zerg player listening right now. But there's just that small little tiny window that you can take advantage of if you are playing against the Zerg. But right now, there we go with the battle, look for the connection. Siege tanks taking the brunt of the damage there. And XtinC is happy to go for these trades. He is just keeping on with the pressure as he has the advantage back in his ballpark. He went for the workers early on the cycle and went for the army right now. 80 army to 28. Shenanigans running out of units to work with. And that was just such a big hit. XtinC found the opening. He was able to transition through that third base, go to the high ground, and trade on a positive note. Right here, right now, this is looking like it's XtinC's game to win, as he's going to be pushing on forward. Roach is going to be all away as well. It's a big funnel here, and now SCV is going to get pulled. Thor's trying to drop on down from the main base to the natural, but this is going to be the wrap of demise, perhaps, as SCV is dying in the front line. It was a good effort of Shenanigans, really taking care of those drones with the surprise Banshee, even catching XtinC off guard, but he wasn't able to really defend onto that third base, and XtinC keeping on with the pressure, really Literally, the proxy just blowing up in the face of Shenanigans there, and XtinC is just mopping the floor of Shenanigans right now. Seems like this might be game, set, and match unless something huge happens. But XtinC is still happy with the funnel. He is still happy with what he has in behind. He's going for more bases. He's going for the economy, and he is heavily in the lead right now without completely securing the game. Our golden Zerg looking like a golden boy here and now as the siege tank is really trying to go for a last stand. But what's gonna be there? Can he actually get the kill? That's gonna be so close. 20 HP 5. So close. That was almost there. That was almost there, guys. But look at that. 134 to 55 supply. Things don't look good here for Shenanigans. Now, luckily for Shenanigans, even though if he does lose this match, he can still play on into the lower bracket. And even more lucky is whoever loses this match actually gonna have a free buy on the lower round. So they are going to be able to go straight into lower bracket number 2 and wait on the results from round number 2. But it's now time for XtinC to literally put that DND right there. And the GG is called. XtinC with the victory. Very well deserved. Able to find the defense earlier on against the proxy Raxus, and then turn it into a heavy advantage. XtinC with the 2-0 victory, and that is our first match of the day. I still love that stinger, by the way. That transition is so solid. Mr. Mizzle making some really good stuff. But that is gonna be that first match done and dusted, guys. And before we go and set up for the next match, we'll give you a quick little recap of the results. Yet again, XtinC right now taking the series 2-0, and he was just able to really play off against the mech. And for every Zerg player, I feel like that's the composition that you really need to practice against, how to play against mech and try to figure out where you are strong. And you can play the macro or you can play the micro. But here you go right now with the 3 maps done. 2 out of 3 actually game played. Third map not gonna get played at all because XtinC taking care of business on Eternal Empire as well as Nightshade. But as I'm trying to say on my points, if you feel like your spell casting isn't the best as Zerg, if you are able to keep control with the macro and then defend those bases, that's when you can really keep the might of the swarm against the just how strong honestly Thors are to begin with. But if you know how to play the Vipers, the Infestors to such a solid degree, you can also go that route and really micro your way to victory. It's really all about getting good, and it's really all about learning what's best against a very strong composition. Still goes to show that the best players are Zerg because of the fact that they are able to really eke out the best value out of their units. And here in the Masters Plus brackets, it's something we are expecting already. But anyway, guys, that was our first match of the day. Before we go on with a little bit of a break, just a quick little shout out yet again to our sponsors, AKG Games. Check them out at Facebook and Instagram at akggames.ph, a exclusive regional distributor of Blizzard Entertainment games, and they do events here and there for a number of Blizzard games, like here right now in StarCraft, partnering with StarCraft PH. Hearthstone, of course, is something they're very focused in World of Warcraft, and maybe even some Overwatch here and there. On the other side, community sponsors from SCPH, DLS, Mizzle, pretty much the brainchild of the operation, and it was also the artiste, le magnifique artiste. I don't know, I think it's like magnificent artist. And I'm not sure if that's French or Spanish, honestly. I think it's French, but yeah, Mizzle is the one who really set things up, and that's my little logo there. I was like, hi guys, I'm here too, casting for y'all in the community. And big shoutouts, of course, to the individuals who supported our prize pool, Supermalls by Axter Paul and Destroyer PH. But anyway, guys, that was match number 1, and we will be back for the next match. And that is going to be a round number 2 match. And it is going to be, oh, it's the big one. It's Ender versus Nux coming our way. And we will be right back. And we'll stay tuned as we're going to be looking to get into round number 2 action. But before that, actually, we might do a losers bracket round first. So we will coordinate with the rest of the admins, and we will be back for our next match on broadcast. Stay tuned. This is the SCPH Quarantine Tournament number 2, Masters Plus Bracket.